Listen, listen, listen. When I tell y'all, my beef spare ribs came out so good. So good. This all that's left. I had three of them. Fire. Van Life cooking. Van Life cooking. If you know, you know. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. Fire. But details of that will be in tomorrow's video. So, uh, uh, uh. Cooked in a cast iron skillet in this minivan in Lo Chateau. I'm telling you, fire. That was my first time making beef spare ribs just on my own. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Happy Friday, happy Friday. So apparently this is kind of a thing that I'm gonna be doing Friday night lives. I like it, so I am gonna do it. Let me add more light to the scene. Yeah, Friday night lives. They may not always be in horizontal format, but I wanted to do this one because I haven't been taking clips and putting them on shorts. However, when you're live, they still show them in the shorts, which is why YouTube recommends to go live in vertical format. Somebody asked me that before. So I do want to take these opportunities on these Fridays to answer some questions that um, maybe I haven't seen in the comments, or if I've answered, because I'm finding that I'm answering the same questions over and over again, um, and I think it's just because people don't want to take the time to go through and watch the videos, even when I direct them to the video. But um, let's see. Yeah, see this question I've gotten a couple of times, which is how I make money on the road. And from the beginning, I've stated I don't live on the road. I'm a nomad. I was a nomad before I became a mobile dweller. I couldn't imagine just living in one place all my life. So I'm a nomad anyway. But I don't live on the road, and it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. Everyone that lives in a van don't live on the road. So I don't live on the road, and I've answered how I make money several times. But an updated answer, which is in my most recent uploaded video, is now I'm a full time content creator. Before that, I was self employed. The reason why maybe um, there's not a clear answer is because for me being self employed, like I've said to people in person, you have to find whatever you do or whatever you can do. I don't give suggestions to people because I don't work through any, when I was self employed over the years, I don't work through any third party source. I can figure out how to make money. I don't work through any third party source. Whatever you can think of, that's not what I do. I would always just make my money directly. One degree of separation. Whoever I'm working for or whatever I'm selling, whoever I'm selling it to or whoever I'm working for, they pay me directly. I don't work through any third party services at all. So I can't give a suggestion or ideas because what I do, you may not be willing to do, or you may not be good at, or you may not like to do. I don't know. I don't know. You just got to look within and say, what can I do? And then know how to contact people. I'll say this: what I use to gather all my clients most recently, excuse me, when I was self employed here in California, is I use Craigslist. I've been using Craigslist for over a decade, since back when I was married, and I've been divorced for 12 years. I've never had a problem on Craigslist. I don't live off fear, yada, yada, yada. So I've bought, sold, and booked all my clients off Craigslist. So you just got to be able to figure it out. You just got to be able to think, critically think, creatively think, and look within to say, what can I do? What am I willing to do? So, but as it is right now, I'm a full time content creator and working towards building that income. Even that, I'm willing to, I understand that when building a business, you have to let go of everything else and focus 100% all in on that business. So I stopped taking clients. I'm no longer self employed. And as it stands right now, my income is little to none because I'm building my YouTube. I'm building. I'll be getting my first payout next month in June. I haven't had any viral content. So, I'm not expecting at this point, as I record this live right now today, because only God knows what's going to happen 10 minutes from now and further. So at this point, I haven't had any viral content. I'm not at this point right now expecting to have a huge payout in June because of some viral content. I believe in me and I bet on myself. And when I make a decision, I'm all in on it. I don't go back on my decisions. I don't negotiate with myself. Once I make a decision, that's it. And it's easy for me to do because I make decisions from a bucket of choices that I decide for myself. You know what I mean? So externally, there are choices to work for Uber, um, whatever all these third party, I don't even know them. There are third party cleaning services. There's Uber Eats. There's what is it called? Grubhub. What's the other one where they go grocery shopping for you? See, these are options that someone else put together. I don't look at those as my choices. Those have nothing to do with me. I create my own choices, and then from these choices that I've determined, I make a decision on which one I'm going to go with. You see what I mean? That's how I live my life. So hopefully the person that asked that question a couple of times is on here. And here's the thing too. Last month, I think it was, I publicly put a poll that I'm doing a Q&A. If you have any questions, leave them here. People don't take advantage of those opportunities for whatever the reason, whatever the case may be. But then, I'll get the same questions over and over again in the comments. But when I open up the floor for people to ask questions, it's crickets. So anyway, um, someone else asked me, I think they were asking, why won't I buy a home? Why won't I get a home? Um, the simple answer is because I don't want to. The more in-depth answer is, um, growing up in Minnesota, going to school in Minnesota, before Minnesota was as diverse as it is, I received the same information that they give to their children. So I learned a lot about the mortgage system, the business of having a mortgage. I learned a lot about uh, the trap of the American dream. And from a teenager, it's not something that I ever desired to have. So, what I am working towards is buying land. And owning the mineral rights to that land and the gas rights to that land. I want to be totally off grid. I don't want to be on the grid at all. Not the electrical grid, not the sewer. I don't want to be on the grid at all. So I've never had a desire to have a mortgage. Never. Because I understand that what the average people think is the American dream, it's a nightmare. And it turns out to be their nightmare. And this isn't my opinion. I've known several people who were in a home and their home gets foreclosed on. Uh, when the economy, it just shifts too much, and now people's incomes are affected, and all these things are affected, and and what happened? See, the comments just be disappearing. Okay, there we go. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Um, yeah, so that's my explanation to why not. Questions like that, I also think it's crazy that people, adults, like to ask other adults why they will or won't do something when it comes to something like that. Um, because they're an adult and they just made the decision not to. That's why they think for themselves and they like to live their life on their own and think for themselves. They don't need or feel the need to go with the crowd, to go along, to get along. They think for themselves, and I think that's okay. I'm one of those people who I think for myself, and I don't. This is real life business. I don't. I don't ask a lot of questions. I don't being sharing my life on a public platform. I expect to get questions, and like I said, I open the door for questions. Some questions I think aren't really a question. It's more so, well, how is it that you're so comfortable going against the grain? I think that's more accurate. But people wouldn't phrase their question like that. How are you so comfortable doing your own thing? That's a great question. How do you not feel insecure by just living your life your way? That's an excellent question. And that's valid because that's the underlying to all the questions. How do you figure out how to make your own money without going through a third party, without being W2? How do you do that? And how are you secure enough within yourself to just bet on yourself? Those are really valid questions that in my perspective, are the underlying to what the question is. Okay, these are just going back into when I was canning. Yeah, I think the main question is how I support myself. So I'll tell you what I was doing before I got fully before I came a full time YouTube partner. And even before that, I had already made the decision that I'm not going to take on any more clients. So here in California, what I started doing 3 years ago, I decided to start a cleaning service myself. My mother trained me, so I have a very unique way of cleaning, and I am extremely thorough with my cleaning. So I had been in enough people's houses here, and I was like, I really want to show people what clean is, because the mediocre level of clean that they accept, which in my perspective isn't clean at all, And the reason I say that is because there would be nasty baseboards, shower walls are filthy, like they haven't been cleaned at all, just unclean, to where that's not how I was trained. Like, I grew up in a very immaculate home, and my mother made sure it was going to be that way. It was my duty to clean. She trained me to clean regular, everyday cleanings, every week cleanings. It was walls and windows included, as well as very thorough cleaning of the kitchen, of the bathroom, everything. I grew up in a spotless home. And I mean that. I'm not just talking shit. Yes, my mom was on welfare. Yes, my mom was a single mom. Yes, she has 4 children by 4 different men. But when it came down to our environment, she was not nasty at all. And she cooked her face off. My mom can cook, baby. She can bake. Whew. Anyway, so that's the environment I grew up in. And she trained me very, very thoroughly. Even the way, when I say clean, everyone, from my daughter to one of my high school girlfriends to even the guy I dated after my ex-husband, people always comment on my cleaning, my cleanliness, and my space. I'm that type of cleaner. So I decided to start this cleaning service. I put ads on Craigslist, and I also looked for people who had their own ad on Craigslist looking for a cleaner. Individuals. Not I never worked through any third party service ever. So that's how I started it. And I'll tell you how I worked my hours. So the way I did it, because I had 7 clients at my max, and that's when I was bringing in $5,050 a month as a mobile dweller. My outgoing expenses were $300. Okay, so I was bringing in good money just for myself. So what I did, I would ask my clients how many hours per week they wanted. So let's say they wanted 15 hours or 12 hours, and these were a couple of my clients' hours. I would break it up throughout the week. So my client who had 12 hours a week, I went to him Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I did 4 hours each day. I had a client, the family, uh, they were they were also 12 hours a week, but they wanted Monday through Friday cleaning. It was a husband and wife, and they had, at the time, they had 2 children. They just had their third baby. So I went to them. Those were the smallest amount of hours that I did per day. But that's how I broke it up. How many hours per week you want? And then we would just break it up throughout the week. So every single part of the home, I would clean every week. Now, I didn't clean anything twice. So my last day of the week that I worked, that's when I would mop the floors, sweep and mop. But I that's how I did it. So it's not like I was cleaning the bathrooms um every day all week. No, I just, every single part of the home got touched in that week. And so that's how I did it. And that's how I was able to take on 7 clients at one time, because the most, I had one client, he was 10 hours a day. He was in all my clients, the target audience I went for were all entrepreneurs, business owners. I wanted people who were making over 6 figures, which they all are, over 6 figures out here in Orange County. I wasn't in LA County. Um, and for me, I wanted the mindset of, they understand business. So they get it, So none of them had a problem with the way it was structured. They loved it. They all loved it. It wasn't intrusive. So the one who I worked 10 hours a week, he was a real estate mogul. I think he was probably, if not the richest, the second richest, because Casey had bread, okay? But anyway, all of his places, he and his wife, they lived in every place where they had on the market. So their place stayed like showroom ready. Okay, so their place was always immaculate, and he wanted it to stay immaculate because at any given moment, he'd be having a showing. So, and I thought that was dope because that's something that Grant Cardone says: own the places that make you money and rent the places that you live, but not rent how we on the lower levels may think of rent. So anyway, I thought it was dope that he did that. So they wanted 10 hours a week. So I was there 2 days per week, 5 hours each day. So those 5 hours was the most I was at any one client's house a day. The max was 4 hours, and that was my client Casey. They were 12 hours a week, and I went there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's how I structured it. And it was perfect. And all of them paid me weekly. I didn't do the day by day pay. They all paid me weekly. And also with Casey, I also had two of his commercial companies. So I did his two commercial offices as well as his home. And he's got a 5,500 square foot home up in the hills in Tustin. And he was dope too because his home made money. He rented it out for um, video shoots, weddings, parties, movie shoots. The home paid for itself. And these are the clients that I wanted because that's the mindset that I wanted. And it worked. It worked for me. So if anybody feels like that's something that they could do, or an, or they are an exceptional cleaner, you could definitely get your bread with that. You could definitely get your bread. And I also, like I said, at the time, I wanted to create a whole business. I started interviewing for employees and things, but I also had a checklist. So after the first month, I'd give them that checklist. And then I had one for 6 months and 12 months. So they liked my business mindset behind it as well. And it just worked out really well. So that's what I did. Before that, I had a digital magazine, and I was the only one running that digital magazine. It was a lot of work because it was every month I was doing. Um, I was having a what are they called? Issue. I had monthly issues of my digital magazine. I researched all the businesses that put in. I created the list of questions that I sent to them. At the same time, I had um, I was starting my clothing brand. So we're going back to late 2020 into 2021. So this is what I was doing back then, and I had gotten up to 5 subscribers with my digital magazine. It wasn't much. Like my digital magazine was no, I couldn't have lived off of that. But I'm just telling you my hustles. Like this is I'm always going to because it's always for me the bigger picture. So anyway, um, yeah, when I was in Arizona, I used to cook and sell West African food. I'm an excellent cook, and I thought adding my little American spin to West African dishes that I cook amazingly well. I was married to a West African, so that was one of my hustles. That's how I supported myself when I was in Arizona. So now you may have a better understanding as to why I say I don't give ideas. I can't give you an idea on how you can make money on the road or any type of way. However, I feel as though living in a van, not having that large overhead of multiple thousands of dollars of rent or mortgage, for me, makes it easy to make my own money because I don't have the stress of I need to make $1,700 just for my like I need no, I can breathe, I can think, and I can build it up. Even Casey gave me that advice. Casey was one of my clients. He's the one who had the couple of businesses, and um, he was a multimillionaire. Um, oh, okay. Every time it disappears, touch it. Okay, yeah. And so I asked him for a little bit of advice, and his mentor. His coach is what's his name? The super tall white guy. His son, what's his name? He's a very popular motivational speaker. I don't even know how to Google. Y'all would know who I'm talking about. He's very, very tall. He's very tall. Anyway, his son was his mentor. I don't know. Maybe one of y'all know. Anyway, so when I asked him for, to give me some advice, he was like, just take it slow. He said, the fact that you've grown so fast in just these few months, like, that's amazing. Just take it slow. Don't. And from then, I've heard a few other entrepreneurs, business owners say the same thing. Just build your business slowly. Don't try and rush it, because when you rush it, it's going to collapse. Just like these homes that they throw up, these cookie cutter homes in 6 months. So I thought that was great advice. I thought that was great advice. And I did take his advice. So, but now for me, being one who is self employed, I have to let that go if I want to really, really, really grow my YouTube channel and grow that into a business and use my earnings from YouTube to fund other bigger ventures that I have on my back burner. So that's what I do to make money. And if you've never heard me say it before, at 14 years old, I made the decision that I'm never going to work for anybody more than 2 years, because I'm intelligent enough to figure out how to make money to pay my own bills and to take care of myself. That was me at 14. And my words will not come back to me void. I've never worked for any company, not even a temp employee. I've never had a W 2 job for more than 2 years. 18 months was my maximum. 18 months was the longest I ever been a W 2 employee. I stand on it when I say it. And that's my vibration and frequency. So that's what's always going to come back to me. I don't think I could have even ever worked at a job for more than 2 years if I wanted to, because that's not where my vibration was years before then. I just, and again, my mom used to always say, think for yourself, think for yourself, think for yourself, think for yourself. If I can't figure out how to bring in income for myself, I should have never moved out of my mom's house, because that's just a dependent. In my own opinion, I'm only speaking for me. This isn't to offend W 2 workers, because I'm telling you, I've been a W 2 worker. I've just never done it more than 2 years. So this isn't to offend anybody. I'm speaking only for me and just sharing with you my true life story, right? So for me, I just, from a teenager, when I was still a dependent, I felt like if I can't figure it out on my own, which is why I moved out at 16, I felt like my mother had trained me thoroughly enough to where I can't keep abiding by these rules that have me so restricted. You did a great job training me in these 6 years. I gotta go. I gotta go. And I moved out at 16, and I gotta go. Like, if I can't figure it out, then I won't survive. If I can't figure it out, I won't be alive to be a burden on the planet. And that's just how I feel about it. I even attempted, when my children were teenagers, to get them to go down the route of entrepreneurship, self employment. I would see natural talents and abilities in them, but that's just not their thing. And I can only control me. So, and what you eat don't make me shit. So it really makes me no never mind. It really doesn't bother me. So at this point, I'm a full-time content creator, and I'm just getting started. So my income is pickings, slim pickings at the current moment. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because this is the bottom. Once you're at the bottom, you can't get any lower. Once you're at the bottom, you can really, I can really get my footing, right? Because nothing's going to collapse. I'm at the bottom. So I don't have to worry about the bottom falling out. Now I can really get my footing and dig in and climb my way up. I've always said zero is the best place to start, the absolute best place. Because once you're at the bottom, you don't have to worry about the ground falling out. It's the bottom's not going to fall out. You're at the bottom. So dig in, put the pedal to the metal, and just focus. And that's where I'm at right now. So I'm a full-time content creator right now. And again, I haven't had big any viral, small viral or big viral. I haven't had any viral videos. I don't believe in waiting. I know for a fact there's no such thing as the perfect time because there's only the present. And since that's the only time, I don't like to waste it. I'm not one to waste moments because the next moment isn't guaranteed. I just give my all in each moment and I'm satisfied. At at the end of each breath, I'm okay with that being my last breath. And I've been in that space since I was 24. At the end of each breath, I'm perfectly fine with that being my last breath because at every moment I'm I'm living on my own terms. I'm not living according to anyone else's anything. So I'm okay with every breath being my last breath. And the next breath I'm granted, I'm going to be in the present moment, not the past and not the future, just right now. And that's why I always say thank you so much. That's why I give so much gratitude on my channel and to my channel and in my community posts, because it's just the present. And I'm comfortable with what I give at every moment. I'm comfortable with how much I share. I'm comfortable with being crystal clear and wide open because I feel like I've already won. I've already won. When I was in my very early 20s, maybe late teens, I decided that I'm going to define success for myself. My definition of success, now the dictionary definition of success is the achievement, the accomplishment of a defined aim or goal. That is the definition of success. Has nothing to do with money. It's you say this is what you want to accomplish and you achieve that accomplishment. That is what success is defined as. So I defined it for myself. And for myself, decades ago, I said, for me, I will know I'm successful when I'm truly happy with who I am, with every part of my existence, when I'm happy with what I've been through, when I'm happy with who I am. So I've always, like I've said umpteen times, I became my own therapist at 12. I've always healed myself as I've gone through something. I I couldn't do the baggage and I couldn't allow the world or my family to have me. I couldn't allow anyone to have me. No, 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 no. So at 12, I became my own therapist. So, like I said, in my late teens or maybe early 20s, I defined success as being happy with me against whatever's happening in the world, whatever my physical reality is showing me, right? Because my reality is here. So I can't be effect affected by the physical realm. And I can say that when I recognized that I had achieved that goal, when I recognized that I am successful, it was, I think I was 42 is when I recognized it. I was divorced already and I was in Arizona. And I thought back to that and I was like, I've been happy for a long time. Like I never recognized it because I was always just in the moment of my life. Just in the moment. But uprooting everything, leaving my business, my clients, I was a hairstylist, makeup artist at the time, independent. And I left everything. I sublet my apartment. I left all my clients, my books. I left everything. I got rid of everything, my apartment full of stuff, and I only kept what could fit in my little Honda Accord. And when I got to Arizona, like I said, I was 42 at the time, and I love Arizona. It's the perfect place for me. I will be back there, and that's when it hit me. It's like, damn, damn. Now that's not to say. Now when I made that my goal of success, that means through anything, through any hard times, through anything. It's not about, yeah, life is going to happen because these are the things that mold and shape you and really test your character and build your character or expose your character. So that's just what it was for me. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful for me. It feels good to recognize. It felt good to recognize that, damn, I've been happy for a long time, you know? So, yeah, that's pretty much that. And again, I've answered that question as far as how I make money for quite a few times. But again, for the record, I do not live on the road. I'm a nomad. I was a nomad before I became a mobile dweller. I've lived in several states. I couldn't imagine just living in one place. I couldn't imagine. But for me, I never had a desire to live on the road. As a single woman, that does not seem safe to me. I don't have that desire. I don't have the desire to put all those miles on any vehicle that I'm living. Like, this is my home. I can't just be putting miles on this. I can't just be driving around. And then it's not, it doesn't look appealing to me to live on campgrounds. And I love camping, but I don't want to live on campgrounds. I don't want to live on the road. No, I move from this state and I go to that state. And then from that state, I'll go to that state. But living on the road has never been anything that I planned on doing. Mm-mm, mm-mm, no. Um, for me, I don't currently have a home base anywhere. Um, I think I will make Arizona my home base because I love Arizona. I love the weather. I love heat. I love heat. I love sunny, real sunny. Not Yeah, California is just not my type of place. But I wanted to come here so bad, and I had to come here, and I don't regret coming here. But I think I'm gonna make Arizona my home base. I love that extreme heat. I love it. I love it. I love the nighttime living. There's always something to do, and then you look forward to the sun going down. I love the extreme heat because it gives me an opportunity to look forward to the humane winters that are so short. By the time you get tired of being cold, shit is hot again. I love that. I love that. I absolutely love the heat. I spent my winters in the jacuzzi, baby. I love I love Arizona. I love all the hiking, mountains everywhere. There's no breeze. I love that. It's definitely my place, and it's definitely the place that I will make my home base. And that's where I plan to buy land. Arizona is where I plan to buy land, and when I get back there, I do intend to, now that I have a spacious home, because I started off in Hotel Honda, a 97 Honda Accord in Arizona. And that's when I really started trying to figure out how to go from being self-employed to an actual entrepreneur where a business is working on autopilot. So yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey. Um, and I look forward to getting back to Arizona and being fully monetized and having a nice, decent monthly income from my social medias and digital products and online products. I have two journals that I'm still working on. The journals themselves are done. I'm just working on getting the covers properly cropped to where Amazon KDP accepts the covers. See, all these are not coming by to give us a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. On my way to my third job. Rest up. Hey, simply being me. Yeah, rest up, Brosia. Um, so yeah, I'm working on those journals and getting those, and yeah, yeah. So at this point, that's my focus. That's my focus, so that I can move around, not live on the road, but just not be stationary and have to have clients that I'm going to. Yeah, I will be 50 this year, and I don't want to use my body anymore. I want to use my mind. I want to use my intellect, my creativity, and I want to use technology. I want to use technology to make money. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. I'm one of the Gen Xers who love this technology shit. I love it. I love it. So now it's like I'm going to use it to my advantage. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to use, I don't have an Amazon Prime. I actually have stock in Amazon, but I don't have a Prime account because I'm not going to pay you to shop on your account, but I will invest to whereas the fact that you have grown such a successful business as an investor now, I have those advantages. So I have I think about 8 shares of Amazon stock. Yeah. So now I'm like, let me get a couple of things on Amazon KDP and let me sell on there. Let me do that because I create the books once, put them on there. That's it. I just got to do the work to get them recognized, get them sold, market, and things like that. I can do that. I can do that. But to physically, oh, I got to go to this client. Oh, now I got this client. Mm-mm. This second half of my life, I want to just build for the next decade of my life. Yeah. So from 50 to 60, I know it may sound crazy to people, but baby, I got energy. Okay. From 50 to 60 is my time to really go hard with technology and utilizing it to my advantage. Because when I'm 60, that's when I want to now just collect, reinvest, collect, reinvest, collect, reinvest while I'm on my land. And that's going to be the time from 60 to focus on getting my land together, uh, things like that. So that's my plan, and that's the format that I'm going to do. So again, just to repeat myself again, that's why I cannot suggest or advise anyone on what they can do to make money. Because the things that I can do, maybe you cannot. The things that I'm willing to do, maybe you are not. I don't know. I was not willing to work for anybody. I'm not willing to do that. I wasn't willing to do that as a teenager for a long time. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I would have slit my own throat before I would have ever worked for any company a decade, 2 decades, even 5 years. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And I knew I wasn't going to do that. and I never had any regrets. In St. Louis, when I moved back home in my 20s, I had a candy store out of my bedroom. I was selling all kind of candy plus Philly blunts. Yeah, that was maybe 2099, 2000. Yeah, yeah, I can figure out how to make some money. When it comes to active income, baby, I can figure out how to get my bills paid. I can figure out how to bring in some money for myself. That's easy. That's easy. And some people, may find it easy to do it on autopilot. That's where I'm at now. Like, I got to figure out how to do it and rinse and repeat. So now that my money is making triple, quadruple, 10x for me, that's where I'm at now. So that's where I've always been. You know what I mean? As far as, yeah, I'm not gonna work for somebody for all my life and then have nothing to show for it. And then I can't even just bring my kid here. I can't just, you know, put my kid behind the cash register because it's mine. Nah, 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 nah. And then I've always hated the interview process. I'm just being honest. And just sharing more about me. I've always hated that for me. You gotta get dressed and go there and put the blah blah da 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 da. I wasn't with that. I felt like I was putting myself on display. I didn't like that. I didn't like the feeling of the whole interview process because I want to know what you offering too. Like, why should I accept you? Like, what kind of benefits are you offering? What kind of morale is going around this company? Because I've turned down job offers. Because you ain't just interviewing me, I'm interviewing you too. Why do you have such a high turnover rate? Why are people leaving? Why is the front door a revolving one? You know what I mean? Like, I had questions too. I had questions too. And I also didn't like the fact that I couldn't be honest with them because when I did, even when the interview was going great, I knew that was the reason didn't get the job because I would tell them flat out, no, I don't plan on being here more than 5 years. These are my goals. And, they just didn't want to hear that. I know in Minnesota they didn't. They didn't want to hear that. But I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I'm going to be here because no, I'm not. I'm not going to be here 5 years. No, no, you can bet your bottom dollar on it. The fuck? I'm not going to be here 5 years. Because can I just walk my son up in here? Can I just walk my daughter up in here and start them? No, I can't because this isn't mine. This ain't my shit. I'm not going to be here all them years, all them decades. And then you know how many people I've seen, whole livelihood change and work 30 some years for this company. I never bought the bullshit that my baby boomer mother and all the rest of the baby boomers tried to sell me. I never bought it. I never bought it. It was a bag of beans to me. And mm-mm, I'm not Esau. I'm not selling my birthright for a pot of beans. You can keep your beans. So it just wasn't my jam. It just wasn't my jam. Yeah, I've had umpteen jobs. Umpteen. Umpteen. I've walked out on jobs. I've been fired for many. I've quit many. Um, I've smoked on all of them. I'm a stoner. I love being sober. I haven't quit smoking. I really like being sober. So I don't smoke weed very often. Just when I'm like, oh, I need some weed, then I'll get some and I'll smoke it and I'll be done for a few months. I really love being sober. But I'm a certified stoner, and just because I'm here 8 hours, 8 hours, you got me here 8 hours, and you think I'm not smoking on my break? Are you serious? You gotta be joking. You gotta be joking. I came in here high. I'm gonna make sure I stay high while I'm on the clock, and I'm smoking more as soon as I get off. Like, yeah, I just didn't. I just, and for me, I knew I was a great employee and I felt like I gave jobs too much because, I just recognized that they just don't care because you're replaceable. You are so replaceable. That's why they created a handbook, because this is all duplicatable, you know? So I'm not anything special. No matter how great I am at it, no matter how uh, much of a results I get, no matter how much I sell, no matter how much um, I I get these accounts receivable in, none of that matters. You are replaceable, okay? And I recognize that. You think I was gonna wear my body out? Mm-mm. Because I took over someone else's position. You know what I'm saying? Before they hired me for this position, it was filled by somebody, and they probably ain't even thinking about that person no more. I recognized that decades ago. So, not gonna, no, no. So that's how I view it. That's how I view it. That's how I view it. You know, I just, like I said, my gaff bag been empty, been empty. My gaff bag was empty before I had my 21st birthday. My gaff bag been empty. Been, been. Yeah. So I just don't have a fuck to give. None. Not a one. Not even a little corner. Not even a leftover one. Zero fucks do I have to give. Mm-mm. So that's just it. That's just it. I hope I hope me breaking down how I did my business, my cleaning business, because you can use that model for anything. Let me tell you, I'm going to share with you another idea that I had that I started to implement when I was in Arizona, because I'm also an excellent organizer. I used to have my own personal closet. I've had a ton, a ton of stuff. So I would have all my clothes. I had them color coordinated and length. You know, they were ascending and descending by length, and just different things like that. So when I was in Arizona, I had this idea that I wanted to start this. Um, how can I say it? It was a organization, a cleaning and organizing. When I say cleaning, I mean like cleaning out the closet, organizing the closet. But the whole purpose was to show people how to shop within their closet. And because I am a trained fashion designer, I went to school for fashion design in Chicago when I was 30. I wanted to show them how to dress their body, right? So I wanted to kind of like a mix of what not to wear. And it was another show where they went into the closet, but they bought a new wardrobe. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted them to shop their closet. So I want to kind of peel back the old way they were looking at what they had with organization and being a trained fashion designer, showing them how to dress their body with what they already had and showing them just a different perspective of how to mix and match and layer and just different things like that. So that was an idea that I had, and it's still in my mind. But again, I don't want to actively, if I can figure out how to do that with immediately creating a team, I would do that. I would absolutely do that because I love that idea. And in this economy, um, I think people need to know how to view their own wardrobe with fresh eyes, you know, because in many cases, you don't need to go buy something new. You just need a new perspective of what you already have. You just need to know something new about clothing or fashion or how to dress your body, you know? So that's an idea. Maybe somebody can take that and do something with that, you know, put your own spin on it or just do something like that. There's so many ways to make your own money. Even if you have your own little thing that you make, right? Your own, let's say you have a certain dish that you make. It doesn't matter what it is, but if you make it a certain type of way and people are always commenting about this thing, raving about it, or they request you to bring that at the gatherings right there. Like, you can just start selling. And here's the thing, too, don't overthink it. Like, just start selling, keep putting your money back into it, back into it, back into it, to whereas now you have some actual profit. You set that profit aside, put the rest back into it, back into it, back into it. Keep building, keep growing, keep building your clients, set your profit aside. And then you start getting whatever licenses you need, whatever, 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 right? But prove the concept first. Get the buzz first, be underground with it first. Work locally within the people you know first. If you're good at decorating, party planning, all of these are things that you can just do for yourself. You can just do it for yourself. You can just start. There are so many ways to make money, so many ways to earn income, so many. Just look inward. What do you do? What can you do? Maybe you're good with animals. Maybe you're good with dogs. You like dogs. And you have, or maybe animals are really, really good with you. Maybe there's something about your vibration and your frequency that animals just calm down when you're around. Dogs, for example, right? You can be a dog walker. One guy, I listened to his story on how I built this, and here's how he got started. A whole business he created. Now he's a multimillionaire. He had a dog who, I think the dog ended up biting somebody. And he decided then and there that he's going to learn how to really train dogs. And he started with his own dogs. And he just got amazing at it, to where people were asking him. And then people started asking him to train their dog. They had an unruly dog, they had, an aggressive dog. So that's how he started. Grew a multi-million dollar company from that right there. It's just like, I mean, it goes on. If you can draw, you can do something basic that you're probably going to see where I'm going with this, but this isn't where I want to end with this. But you can do a paint and whatever. It don't even have to be paint and sip. It can be a paint and whatever, right? If you or a sketch and whatever. If you're good at drawing, if you're really good at that, or you can just start creating your own um coloring books, or calendars, or something. Or you can teach. You can start off teaching and just put your own unique spin to it, right? To just make it, even just in the name, to just make it catchy or something about it. Just put your own spin to it, and bam, from there, you know anything, literally anything. You do not have to wait for someone to pay you. You can, I mean, some third party, somebody whose name is on the front of the check and you don't know who the hell it is. Um, I like knowing whose name is on the front of my check because they gave it to me directly. They gave it to me directly. I watched them write it out to me, and I'm working directly for them. I have their phone number. I'm in direct contact with the person that's paying me. I like that. 1 degree of separation between me and my money, not five. I don't know whose name is on the front of this check. I don't know who this is. I don't know the story behind how he built this business or none of that. See, all of my old former clients, we also, because I'm really, really cool and I'm very personable. So I know their backstories. Uh, Casey, I know how he made his first $1 million. It's just, I like that. I like that for me. I like that for me. Because I'm into that. I'm into that. So, and especially if you just want to do a side hustle. And again, I'm gonna say this, I've said it so many times before on over the years, but most people, unlike me, most people have somebody. whether it's relatives that are on your side, whether it's friends that are on your side that you could possibly get to help you out. You know what I mean? I'm in this world really just solo dolo, and it's always been like that. It has always been like that. There is no one that I can call on for anything. I've attempted several times to start businesses with relatives, several times, and they're just so deathly afraid to let go of their job. And it's just like eventually, we just kind of fade out. And that's just how it is, even my own children. So that's just how it is. But I genuinely believe, because I've seen it, most people, may have somebody, a homie, a ace boon coon, somebody that you can, y'all bet on yourselves together. You know what I mean? So just give it a shot. It's really, really easy to make your own income. It's as easy as breathing. It's as easy as breathing. Breathing. You don't struggle to breathe. You just do it, So just look inside. Look inside yourself. What can you do? What stands out? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? When I started my candy store out of my bedroom, I just went to Sam's Club. I had a Sam's membership. I just went to Sam's Club, bought a bunch of candy, bought a 50 box of Philly blunts. Again, this was 2000, so we were smoking Philly blunts back then, Phillies and Swishers. I was more of a Philly blunt, so I bought the box of Philly blunts, and I would sell out constantly and go and restock, sell out again. That's just it, you know? Shit, it is what it is. You can, one of my cousins, she had an ice cream truck. You can easily go and lease an ice cream truck. Now you the bomb pop man. Now you riding through the neighborhood, and especially if you can put a little flair into it, you can make it unique, make it creative. Shit. You know what? I don't know if it was a meme on Instagram, but somebody said taco trucks need to roll through the neighborhoods like ice cream trucks do. There you go. Somebody take that and run with it. Get you a taco truck, because taco trucks don't roll through the neighborhood. They be posted up. Tell me, tell me you wouldn't love it, especially even if you just did it on Taco Tuesday. Come on. Come on. Get you a taco truck, roll through the neighborhood. I mean, it's just too easy. It's just too easy. It's just too easy. It's just too easy. You just got to be willing. That's it. You just got to be willing. It's just too easy. They're easier than going all in on social media. It's easier than that. hmm Because editing takes a lot of time. Creating the content takes time. And a lot of my content are over a couple of days, right? So, you know, that's very time consuming. That's why when I had all my clients and I was in my Mercedes mansion, I chose Instagram, because it's just real time, and I like that. It fit me at the moment, because what I was saying was I don't have time for the editing process. I didn't even have time to even put all the clips together that I would have to make one video. I didn't have the time for all that. I didn't have the time for any of that at all. Mm-mm. So all these things that I'm saying, they're all much easier than being a full-time YouTuber, and faster payout, faster payout, faster return on your investment, much faster. So somebody need to take that taco truck idea and roll through the neighborhood, because like I said, when I saw that meme, I was like, yeah, I don't know why even right now in 2024 they're not doing that. Something else I've heard since being here in California, I'm gonna put you on to this. Maybe somebody can do this. A couple of different things, but one guy, he would buy, he would buy. I don't know what kind, but he would buy frozen pizzas, heat them up in this oven. I don't know if he did anything special. I think she said he didn't do nothing special to him. He just heated them up, and he put himself on Uber Eats or Grubhub, so people would order his pizza. He had a name, whatever his name was, whatever his pizza business name was, and he did that. He did that. And the person that told me this third hand information, I don't know, but the person that told me about it, she said he was selling. She said he would get sales. I was like, damn, see, it's too easy. It's too easy to make your own money without a third party or without a W 2 or without somebody that you don't even know signing the front of your check. It's too easy. It's too easy. So there's quite a few ideas that whoever is an action taker can take action on, because a lot of people like to drag their feet. And also, you can't be fearful. You can't be afraid to make your own money. You can't be afraid to figure things out for yourself. That's a big thing too. You cannot be afraid to figure it out for yourself and to bet on yourself and to use your money to go and buy whatever it is that you need to start this thing. You can't be afraid to do that. You can't be fearful, because to me that only says lazy. Okay, what if it don't work? Then that means you're not working. If it don't work, that the it is you. You're not working. You're being lackadaisical. You want to chill out. You're not putting in the effort that is required to make your own money. You don't believe in yourself. You want to be leisurely. And we know what scriptures say about idle hands and too much leisure. Yeah. So if it don't work, it just means you're not working it, because it's always going to work when it is in your responsibility to work. It's always going to work. And it's just too easy to make your own money. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. Um, I hope that was enough ideas for y'all, because, like my daughter said, you have an idea every 45 minutes. Well, are you bragging or complaining? I mean, that sounds like a good thing to me. I do. I always have ideas. I always have ideas about how I can do what I'm doing better. Ideas of everything, everything. If you're good at taking pictures, if you're good at taking pictures, you know how much you can do with that? You can do so many things with that if you're good at taking pictures, right? You can take great pictures if you know where you can get them printed out, great. But don't just print out the whole picture. Blow it up and get a creative perspective angle of what you shot on a whole, and then crop it down to some interesting part of that, to where it's not the full thing, but damn, that looks interesting. Shit like that. And you can, if you don't want to attempt to sell the pictures by themselves, create a calendar. Create an 18-month calendar. Put each picture on there, and 18-month are definitely better than 12-month calendars. Create an 18-month calendar, put your pictures on there, make sure you have your tag on there, and everything you need on there, and have the full images on your website or somewhere. If you don't have a website to start, have them somewhere to where they can purchase the full picture. So like on the back of the calendar, you put your information, of where, if they want any one of the full pictures, they can buy the full picture, go to your website. But on the calendar, it's a very interesting angle cropped from the full picture, you know? Some shit like that. I don't know, anything. Anything. It's just too easy, is all I'm saying. It's just too easy. Uh But that's it. That's it. Hey, hey, what's up, the hills? Yeah, that's it. So, um, I hope y'all got something from this. I hope somebody took something away from this. Um, cause yeah, like my hometown girl right there, Brosia, man, nobody should have to work three jobs. Nobody should have to work three jobs. I feel so like that hurt to read that. Nobody should have to work three jobs. It's too easy to make your own money. It's too easy to make your own money. Way too easy. Way too easy. So that's just it. Like I said, hopefully somebody can take something from that. Rewatch this if you missed any of the ideas. Cause yeah, that's what I got for you. And like I say, I got a ton of ideas. A ton of ideas. But you just gotta be willing to make the sacrifice for yourself. So I hope that helps, and hopefully I see y'all in the comments. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. What are you waiting for? Um, Friday Night Lives every single Friday. Make sure y'all tune in, tap in, share, comment, subscribe, and I also have YouTube memberships open. So think about that. Patreon, Cash App, and I'll see y'all in the comments. Peace, y'all.